Hello! I have a notebook full of things that I have to talk about today. I hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Hello, welcome to my channel. What's up? I'm Sophia Mitropoulos. Today I wanted to make this video to talk about how I went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in 5 months and 6 days. I opened my channel on May 1st and I posted my first video on my channel on May 27th of 2020, and I hit 1,000 subscribers on November 2nd. So I wanted to go over some of the things that got me to this point, what I think worked, what I think I could have done better, all that sort of stuff. The first thing, just to cover the details, I have made 43 videos in the past 5 months and 6 days. This is my 44th video, and I started this channel with the intention of growing it. So I knew from the beginning that my goal was to try to get monetized, which it still is my goal, and the first part of that is hitting 1,000 subscribers. So again, thank you all for being here. There are a couple of things that I did to try to make sure that I was optimizing my time spent making my videos. I do have a history in filmmaking, and a pretty extensive one at that, so I didn't have to go through the same learning curve of learning how to film and learning how to edit like other people have when they're starting their channels. So I definitely did have an easy start because of that. But I also want to be clear that I don't think that gaining 1,000 subscribers in that 5 months was astonishingly fast. I know that there's people that have done it in 2 months or in, a week or something like that. If they have a really successful video, that's totally possible. But I feel like this was a nice, healthy, kind of achievable goal of growth for me. I did make a video after my first 90 days on YouTube to see what my first 3 months making videos looked like, as far as how I was deciding my content and the growth that I saw during that period. Something that I've also been doing over the past 5 months is I've been really trying to analyze other creators in general. I originally started trying to analyze other creators in my niche, which is for the most part art and art making. So I do look at other art channels and see what they're making, but I want to approach this channel with a slightly different perspective. And I'm not looking to these other creators to copy them, but I'm looking to learn from them and see what they do that does well and how that has grown their channels. But I also want to make sure that I'm bringing my own spin into things. So I do make sure to watch videos from all sorts of channels. And honestly, I consider this to be research. So I do watch a lot of other channels as research to see what I like in content, and not just in art content or creative content, but in just any kind of expression. Like recently, I mentioned this in my previous studio vlog number 4, I have been really feeling inspired by Damon Dominique and his filmmaking style. He is just totally out there with how he films things, and I think it's so much fun and so cute. And I want to incorporate elements of the kind of experimentation that he's testing in his filmmaking with mine. So hopefully that'll start happening soon. In a lot of cases, that ends up looking like a studio vlog where I go to a museum or something like that, which I've done a couple of, which were really fun, even though they didn't do well. And that kind of leads me to my next point, which is that up to this point, I've been making 2 types of videos that I consider. One is the ones that the algorithm has shown me do well, which is why you see me make a lot of Himi gouache videos. Don't get me wrong, I love the Himi gouache, but the videos do well, and I have been intentionally trying to grow my channel. So I've made a bunch of them, and there's an entire playlist that you can watch and see them all. But I also make sure that I'm making content for my community and for my subscribers so that they can get to know me better. A lot of times those end up being my studio vlog videos, where it's a little bit more of an intimate look at my life, but at the same time, not as many people that aren't my subscribers are clicking on them. And part of that is because at this point, I'm trying to grow my channel, so I'm trying to get ranked in search and to make videos that are kind of descriptive in the sense that they will guide new viewers into my channel, which has been working clearly to some extent. But I also want to make sure that I'm making content specifically for my community that's following me, and so those might not perform as well in search, but they do give my existing followers a better sense of who I am and what I'm like. Another thing that I really noticed a big difference of was early on in my videos, I would ask people to subscribe at the end of the video, but I actually made a shift a couple of months ago, maybe about 2 months ago, where I started asking people earlier on in my videos, where usually I'll say something along the lines of, before we get started, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I make new videos on Wednesdays and Fridays as of right now about art and art related things. And I say those things for a couple of reasons. One is that right now my schedule is Wednesday and Friday, but I also want to be clear that it might change. I don't know if I'm going to stick to 2 videos forever. I don't know if I'm going to stick to those days forever. Right now it's working for me and I like it, so I've been sticking with it. That is one thing. And then I also mentioned that I make videos about art and art related things. So yes, this is an art channel. Yes, there are art videos, but also sometimes I do art related activities where I, again, go to a museum or I paint my bedroom, which isn't really art making, but it's stuff like that. If you watch a lot of these videos about growing your subscriber count, a lot of people talk about how important thumbnails and titles are. And up until this point, I've been doing really descriptive titles that kind of describe what it is that I'm doing in the video, but I am starting to experiment with a little bit of a different kind of titling process where it's a little less ranked for search and a little more engaging as a viewer to click on. Not clickbait, but clickable, more clickable. But I also started making thumbnails. I have kind of two types of thumbnail, one where my face is in the thumbnail and one where my face is not in the thumbnail, and I've been sort of experimenting to see which works better. I haven't found a correlation between that for my videos, but I usually just don't include my face if I didn't take a thumbnail photo, which I honestly most of the time forget. So I usually take a weird screen capture where I'm like mid-sentence, where I'm like, and then this is what people are like, thumbnail pic, and they pose for a picture and they take a screenshot, which I should probably start doing. But I do make sure that I make my thumbnails show my personality a little bit more. I think there's a lot of art channels that just show a picture of the painting for their thumbnails, which definitely works for people, but I didn't want to do that, mostly because I don't really want the focus of my channel to be my art, but instead me making art, if that makes sense. I am the subject of my channel, not my work. So I try to make channels that show my personality. So for example, this one, I said throwing hands at my creative process or whatever it was that I wrote. And that was because it was like, oh, she's throwing hands. Like, that gives a little bit more insight into who I am and what I'm like, and maybe the kind of jokes that you'll get from me in the video, something like that. And so those are kind of my biggest tips on how I have grown my first 1,000 subscribers. I do have a Patreon account, which there's only a few of us hanging out in there, but it is a good time. You can sign up to be a patron of mine at the link in the description below, patreon.com/Sophia Mitropoulos. That's me, I'm an artist. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I don't make a ton of videos about YouTube as of right now because I only really just started and it's just starting to grow, but I really enjoy nerding out about my analytics and how things have been going, and I can't wait to get monetized. So if you're feeling the love and you want to help me get monetized, watch a playlist, watch some of my videos. If you watch them through to the end, it really helps. I personally, I'll tell you, I don't think I've ever said this on YouTube yet, but I watch every single YouTube video that I watch ever in at least 1.5, if not 1.75, and sometimes double speed. I also usually even edit my own videos that way, because I just love when people talk fast, and nobody talks fast enough, myself included. So anyway, if you're watching this in normal speed, thanks for experiencing in normal speed. If you're watching in double speed, you are not alone. I did too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Leave me some comments in the questions in the comments if you have any, if you're an art channel and you're trying to grow, if you're just a regular channel. It's been a lot of fun and I really like talking about it, so I'd be happy to help you out and answer what I can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!